should you buy Crimson Desert? After 77 hours, I am not even close to ending the game, so I am going to be unable to push a review of this game in the following weeks. The reason why is because the game is really vast. There is a lot of things to do in the game, and the game is pretty fun. So I don't really want to rush the game, so it's better for me to just do a video telling you how I feel about the game at this stage. Like I said, I have 77 hours in the game, so I do think that if you want to buy this game, if you were waiting to see how the game was after a few patches, I can guarantee you that you probably are going to have fun in this game. There is probably something for everyone in this game. For example, I really like the Abyss, these islands on the sky that are filled with puzzles. I really like those areas of the game. I think they are really fucking good. People are complaining about the puzzles. Like, I only had one single puzzle that in my opinion was trash, and I even made a video about that puzzle, but other than that, most of the puzzles are really fucking good in this game. I really enjoy the puzzles in this game because they are not your typical retard puzzles like the ones I exposed in Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. No, you actually have decent puzzles in this game, and they are quite fun to solve. I am going to give you an advice for the puzzles, is that if you buy the game and you are struggling to do these puzzles, to solve them, what you need to do is to check your abilities, your skill tree, and the reason why you're probably stuck in a puzzle is because you lack an ability from your skill tree. Many of the abilities in your skill tree, especially the ones on the spirit tree, the one that is green, help you to solve these puzzles. So I recommend you to not ignore the spirit tree side of the skill tree, because it's really important to solve these puzzles. Sometimes you need your bow, and sometimes you need the claw thing, sometimes you need double jumping, sometimes you need gliding, sometimes you need push pump, but the one that you can use when you're jumping. Like, there is a lot of things that can help you to solve these puzzles. Many times there is not a set in stone way to solve this puzzle. Like, there is a solution, but the way you get to that solution, maybe it's not exactly the same for everyone. Now, some puzzles do have strict rules on how to solve them, but I have found that oftentimes you can solve these puzzles by bending the rules a little bit. Like I said, in my opinion, the puzzles in this game are really good, but people don't like them, and the reason I think they don't like the puzzles is because they are used to games having retard proof puzzles. Like, that's why I think they don't like these game puzzles, because they are actually they actually require you to have some kind of mental capacity, like some kind of a little bit of intellect at the very least. So like I said, I really enjoy the puzzles, but if you like the combat can be janky. It's quite janky sometimes, but it's fun. Like, building your character, building Cliff, it's decently fun. You shouldn't expect this game to be Dark Souls. It's not Dark Souls. The combat is not even close to be Dark Souls or to be a Souls-like slop garbage game. The bosses, some people complain about the bosses, and I think they can be janky too, but what I have understood about the bosses, the few bosses that I have beaten, is that they behave also like a puzzle. Well, the bosses that I have beaten, they had some form of way to solve them, like the bosses of Zelda. So if you treat the boss like a puzzle and you try to find the boss's weakness, you are probably not going to have a hard time, because some bosses really are weak to certain maneuvers. But if you try to play the game, especially the bosses, as a Souls-like game, like I said, I haven't beaten a lot of bosses, so take this with a grain of salt, but I do believe that the bosses in this game are designed to be solved as a puzzle and to find their weaknesses. So if you're not trying to do that, and if you're trying to play the game as a Souls-like, which you can, but this isn't it, you're probably going to have a hard time beating these bosses. So I don't recommend you to try to play this game as a Souls-like. I think you should try to remove that mindset from your head. You should try to change your mindset when you're playing Crimson Desert. Many times this game is going to fucking surprise you. Like, outright is going to surprise you. For example, the other day I saw a video on Reddit of an NPC that was actually building a statue from zero, and the guy was standing next to this NPC that was building this statue, and he actually finished the fucking statue. You can dispatch members of your crew to do certain activities, to do certain things like gathering resources, building things, helping the town, helping the cities, and you can go to the place that you dispatch them and they will be actually working there. You can also dispatch them to take over enemy territories, to take over enemy bases, and you can even help them to take over. In fact, it's a good strategy to send your crew to a base that you are planning to attack, so you all go together to attack this base. Now, I haven't been able to do that because, like I said, I haven't been trying to progress the game really fast. I have been taking my time, but I have seen in other videos that you can do that. You can send your crew to attack a base that you are going to attack anyway, and you all together can take over that base. So there are many things in the new patch. They also kind of addressed an issue I had with the mounts, that you can't keep exotic mounts like bears, lizards, chocobos, all those exotic mounts. You can't tame them. You can mount them, but you can't keep them, and they sort of addressed that complaint by giving us 5 new exclusive mounts that are exotic. So more or less they are listening. They are listening, and that's a good thing. That's another good thing about this game, is that the developers are actually listening to their audience. So I do believe this game is going to receive a ton of patches. It's been a while since I have been so excited to wait for new patch notes. The last time I was this eagerly waiting for patch notes was when I was playing Elden Ring. Whenever Elden Ring released, it was really exciting to see the new patch notes, to see what was new, what were the new changes, especially because if you remember, Elden Ring Magic released in a very shitty state. So when I was waiting for them to buff Magic, and eventually they did, and it's the same with this game. It's really exciting, it's really amusing to see the new patch notes, to wait for the new patch notes, to see what the developers have been cooking these days. So like I said, do I recommend the game? I think it's a good game. I think you should. If you were waiting to see if the game was good, the game is really good. That's what I can tell you. The game is pretty fucking fun, and some people actually asked me if the game has woke garbage in it. I haven't found any woke trash in the game, and that's commending. Some people complain that the female armors are not skimpy, and I think that's a fucking pathetic, stupid complaint. I personally dislike when you have overly skimpy armors or clothing for women. I think it takes me out of my immersion. So I believe the outfits for women in this game are fit. They are good. I don't think they need to be skimpy. I don't think they need to be showing cleavage or their asses. I don't think so. I think the game tone is exactly as I would expect it to be, and I don't think it needs to have eye candy. I don't think so. If you follow me on X and you read my opinions online, you will already know that I dislike woke garbage when they uglify women, but I also fucking dislike those virgin simps that want everything to be sexualized, everything has to be women and ass and shit like that. I don't agree with that shit. I hate that fucking garbage. Now, I do believe there is a place for sexy women to be in games, for women to be attractive to men. I do think that should be the norm, but not every game has to have fan service. Not every game has to have it, and I think Crimson Desert takes itself seriously, and I do believe that the game gains more for doing that than trying to appeal to these virgin sims that everything has to be about sexy women and shit like that. Again, I haven't seen anything woke, but like I said, I haven't finished the game, so woke can still be in the game. Now, the game is secretly based, and I am not going to elaborate on that. Other than that, there is no woke. I haven't seen anything woke. There is a few black people that maybe they added them in one of these new patches, maybe. I don't know, but there is not too many, so don't be bothered about it. It's not going to be Wakanda. You're going to be playing Crimson Desert, and Crimson Desert has its own universe. In this game you will find goblins, you will find orcs, you will find ogres. I don't know if we are going to see elves, but we do see some children that are fairies, and of course your typical humans. So now that 3 million of us have bought this game with our hard-earned money, I can recommend you to buy this. I do think so. In some cases there are some questionable design choices, but I do believe things are going to improve, because the developers are actually listening to their audience. They are listening to their consumers, and I think they are trying to put a lot of effort into making this game a success, and in my opinion it's already a success. The controls, oh, you made a video about the controls, they were trash. The controls are no longer that bad, they are more manageable. The movement of the character has improved a ton. It no longer feels like that clunky, stiff movement of Red Dead Redemption 2. It no longer feels like that. It feels more responsive. Everything, it's way more smooth. And if you can even believe this shit, some fucking retards, some actually brain dead motherfuckers actually complained about they fixing the fucking movement. They want their old garbage, stiff, clunky movement back. Fucking low IQs. I can't even... This is what fanaticism does to your fucking brain. Because fanaticism is also a form of narcissism, and these people were removed something that made them feel special. They felt like they were special because they were enjoying and they adapted to this garbage movement, and that made them feel special. I am special. I am better than the rest because I can adapt to this fucking garbage movement, these garbage controls. And now they removed that thing from my game, and now that invalidates my own feelings about myself. Now I am a piece of shit. I feel like a piece of shit because I feel like I was wrong all this time. Yes, motherfucker, you were wrong. The controls were fucking trash. The character movement was fucking trash. So yes, you were fucking wrong. Deal with it, you piece of shit, narcissistic bastard. Nobody gives a fuck about you, motherfucker. And you know why nobody gives a fuck about you? Because you are a fucking annoying brat. That's why, fucking fanatic, piece of shit. Nobody cares about you, motherfucker. So that's the truth. That's the truth. Those fucking imbeciles think like that. This is why they also complain about the developers nerfing bosses. Because they felt special. They felt special beating these hard bosses. Like, I didn't even engage with these bosses before they patched them. And I even haven't interacted with a ton of bosses, because I haven't been rushing the game. And these guys feel really special gatekeeping people from beating these stupid bosses. Like, I am a person that defends gatekeeping. Gatekeeping can be good, and it's good most of the time, but these fucking idiots do gatekeeping in the sense that they want to gatekeep others from being special like them. They want to gatekeep others from having what they think they have. And in the case of these imbeciles, they think they have value or more value than the rest of us because they beat these hard bosses, and then when the developer nerfs them, it's like they completely invalidate them. And they do, because at that point they have to face reality. And reality is that the movement, the controls were trash, some bosses were overturned, and no, motherfucker, you're not special because you adapted to shitty controls in a video game or because you beat an overturned boss in a video game. You're not fucking special. Nobody cares about you. And you are a fucking annoying, narcissistic piece of shit. You are insufferable. Nobody wants you near them. So yeah. Do I recommend the game? I do. If I had to give you in advance what will be the score I will be giving this game, I think this game is hovering around a 9 or even a 10. It's that good. It's really good. And it can possibly be my game of the year. It all depends on how good is Blood of the Dawnwalker, how good is the remake of Gothic. It's probably going to be trash. We already know it's fucking woke. And the new Fable game, maybe it's good, who knows, and maybe I am forgetting about other games, but it's too soon to claim it's going to be game of the year. But Crimson Desert, it's a really powerful contender for game of the year, and whomever is saying that Resident Evil 9 it's game of the year you're fucking retarded. Like, if Resident Evil makes it to Game of the Year, if it wins Game of the Year, it's a fucking travesty.
This is a travesty.
There is no world in which Resident Evil 9 is Game of the Year when Crimson Desert exists. It's just fucking trash. Like, the game is probably not trash, but compared to Crimson Desert, it's fucking trash. You have a $70 game that has 9 hours of fucking content that, yes, you can replay, but at the end of the day, you're replaying the same 9 fucking hours, compared to a $70 game that gives you like 200 plus hours of content. Like, I'm not kidding, you probably can get like 500 hours out of Crimson Desert. I'm not fucking joking. And I know that sometimes amount of content doesn't mean that you have quality content. That it's more important to have quality than quantity. I know that. But the problem is that Crimson Desert brings a ton of quality in its content. Not all of its content is great. Not all of it, but many of the characteristics of Crimson Desert have a really high quality. So I do think that Crimson Desert could be Game of the Year. And if nothing better comes out, it should be Game of the Year. And not fucking Resident Evil. I have the suspicion that Capcom is paying streamers, people like Asmongold, to glaze Resident Evil 9. I have heard that Asmongold may be playing Resident Evil 4. Now, that guy wouldn't be playing Resident Evil 4 if he wasn't being paid to. If he plays Resident Evil 4, the remake of Resident Evil 4, on his stream, he's definitely being paid by Capcom. And I have seen many grifters like Endymion trying to push their narrative that, oh, Resident Evil 9, it's a great game, oh, this is what gamers want. Fuck you. Fuck you. We don't want $70 games that only lasts like 9 fucking hours, that only have 9 hours of fucking content. Fuck you. We don't want that shit. They are trying to normalize the $70 price tag, and if a fucking game ever existed that justified a $70 price tag, is Crimson Desert. So if you're willing to support these naive developers, just like that fucking clown, that performative clown Dalfang was talking, if you're willing to support these naive developers, I think you will find a good game in Crimson Desert. I think you will find enjoyment in the game, and in my opinion, these developers, this company Pearl Abyss, deserve the money, because not only did they release a really good game, they are also listening to their players, they are also listening to their customers, and that's a good sign. That speaks really well about them. In the end, it's your choice. I am not your dad, I am not your cult leader, so you decide for yourself. But in my opinion, if you were on defense about this game, you shouldn't be. It's a good game, and it doesn't matter if it's a fucking 9, if it's a 10, or if it's an 8. It's a good game. You shouldn't be buying your games based on a fucking number. But if you are like that, like I said, for me, this game is hovering around a 9 or a 10. Could be lower, could be a fucking 10 out of 10. Who knows? Crimson Desert is a good game. It's going to be possibly Game of the Year. It has a shit ton of content. The puzzles are really good. The combat can be janky, but it's decent. The graphics are really fucking good, but only if you play with ray reconstruction. Without ray reconstruction, there are some issues with the lighting. The character building is pretty good. There is a ton of content that you will discover by exploring the game. There is a ton of areas that are very cool looking and are really fucking good, that have tons of secrets and shit. There is a ton of fucking shit you can do in this game. You can send your crew to do stuff for you. You can claim territories. You can ride a fucking dragon. You have these exotic mounts. You can have pets. You have this abyss that is fucking incredible. There is a lot to do in the game. So in my opinion, if you were on the fence, you should buy this game.